Welcome back, everyone, to A Gentleman's Life. Sam here, and we're going to do a two-part video today. The first part has been inspired by a couple other YouTube channels who have recently done essentially meet your host videos or learn about your host videos, specifically KDP Ross and Bruce Williams. So cheers, guys, if you're watching. I'm going to do the same as well, talk just a little bit about myself and give all the viewers, especially given that I have a decent number of new viewers in the past couple months, give you all an idea of just kind of where I come from and my overall background and what I like outside of watches and just trying to be a well-rounded person or a well-rounded gentleman, as I like to think. And then following that, I'm going to do a 2016 update to my EDC, or Everyday Carry. It is mostly up to date. There are a couple items where I have two options, and some days I go for one, some days the other. It depends. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. First, let's learn a little bit about me. So, I grew up in Chicago for the first, 18 to 20 years of my life. With my parents and my brother. After that, which, by the way, Chicago, a wonderful city, all the entertainment, great food you could want in one place. Do miss Chicago, but kind of outgrew it and decided to make my own way after a while. I tried school, wasn't for me at the time, moved into restaurants, found that I was really good at cooking, but the lifestyle and the pay wasn't really for me. So I moved on, and when I was 23, decided to join the military and join the Air Force. After training, I got moved to England and spent 2 years living in England, about 40 minutes outside of Cambridge, which is great. I loved England, really wonderful place. I definitely hope I get to go back. Yeah, just love my time in England. After England, I was sent to Korea for a year, so I was in South Korea, around Seoul. And then I went to Germany for 2 years, and lived 2 years in Germany, about an hour and a half outside of Frankfurt. Not that far, actually, from both the Zinn and Steinhardt headquarters. Which was great to visit. I have a Steinhardt right now, and cat's out of the bag, I have a Zinn on the way as well. So I really enjoyed that time as well in Germany. And my favorite thing about Germany is actually how easy it was for me to travel and experience different places. And between my 2 years in England, my 2 years in Germany, I did travel a lot. I got to do a long weekend in Ireland. I spent a week in the Netherlands over Christmas, which was wonderful. Got to experience Christmas the Dutch way, which was fantastic. I did spend about 3 months in Greece, specifically in Crete. So it wasn't mainland Greece; it was Crete. I've done a long weekend in Norway. I've been to France numerous times. I've spent a weekend in Normandy. I spent a few days in the French Alps during the Tour de France. Wonderful. I love Normandy and the Alps, French Alps. I've done day trips to Luxembourg. I did spend a few days in the Czech Republic, in Prague, and then followed by a few days in Hungary, going to Budapest. And then probably my favorite place of all I've been to, I spent a few days in Croatia and Split along the coast. And Croatia is a wonderful place. And I absolutely loved Croatia, and I really hope I get to go back again. Also spent some time, a long weekend each in Barcelona and Stockholm, which were also fantastic. I feel so privileged to have been able to travel as much as I have. So that was really wonderful. And now I live in New Mexico, which is a completely different environment than I've ever lived in before. But again, I find I really like the new environment. And that's a trend I've seen amongst all these places. I've really found different things in each place I've liked. And I think a lot of that comes down to your mindset. And sure, there's things about every place that you don't like, but I guarantee you, any place you go, you can find something that you do like, and that's what I've noticed. So in New Mexico right now, not very large town, not a lot of what we would consider the high class or urban type environments, but I have wonderful access to the outdoors and hiking and backpacking, camping, fishing, shooting. If you can do it outdoors, it's available here, and that is wonderful. Coming from someone who's lived in the city before and not being able to do those activities, the fact that any of those I want to do, I can do while I'm here is absolutely fantastic. So, and I can reach civilization and have a fun night out, get dressed up for a classy night out down in towns about an hour to an hour and a half away. So it's not like it's too far for me to go to get dressed up a bit and have a good night out in the town. So definitely an interesting change, but it's been enjoyable so far. As far as my hobbies, I can nerd out a little bit, both with my watches, as well as anything really with a good story. I was going to say, I love to read, I love movies and certain TV shows, I love good video games, but really the trend amongst all of those is I really like a good story. And regardless of the medium, whether it's a video game or a movie or a TV series or a book, is if the story is good, then I will enjoy it, essentially. As mentioned, from being here, I love the outdoors. I love hiking, backpacking, cycling. I competed in cycling as a teenager. Now I mostly do it for fun. I enjoy shooting, camping, fishing. I've recently gotten into CrossFit, which has been wonderful, helped with a bit of trying to gain my full body fitness back after having 6 years now of wrist problems. And then, of course, I love to travel and I love good food and drink. So I like to think I'm a pretty well-rounded individual. I have a wide variety of interests. I enjoy keeping up with what's going on in the world, experiencing new cultures through travel. I find investing to be very interesting. Just so many different things. So that is essentially a little bit about me. Hope you all found that interesting. Getting to know a little bit more about where I'm coming from during my other videos on the channel, and when I'm talking about what I do or don't like about different watches, or why I choose one thing over another, or I try to relate my thought processes on other videos. Hopefully this will help a little bit with understanding kind of where I'm coming from with my background. So let's move on to my 2016 update to my EDC. There's not a lot different, but there is a little. So let's get into that. And first and foremost, when I leave the house, I have my keys. One little change. Before I had my keys, I had my fob for my car and bottle opener. Now I also have my safe key. I've got my mail key. I've got the house key. I've got the second car key. That's getting sold recently, my old kind of beater car. But I've added on this little mini flashlight, which just comes in handy quite often. You'd be surprised how often just having a little flashlight in your keys can be really helpful. So that's the first item on my EDC. To go along with that, I have my wallet. I have a couple different ones. This one that I'm using most often right now is a bison leather, just a cheap department store wallet right now with all my cards. So I've got things like my computer access cards, my ID, my CCW, my driver's license, Omega card, my work credit card, and then my 3 personal banking and credit cards, and then of course no cash because it's the modern world. But yep, my wallet, never go anywhere without it. To go along with that, I have my phone with me most of the time, so you can see there, got my phone. To go along with that, I also like to carry this, and this is this little USB stick that has both an iPhone connector and a USB connector. So it's nice to have any given time to either transfer or have data storage. It can connect either into my phone or into something else, a computer or whatever. A little random, but another thing I always try to have on me, well, always do have on me, is what we call a challenge coin. In the military, you get coins for assignments, for doing something good. Your commander will give you one, something like that. This happens to be the one I just graduated from basic training. You can see a bunch of other ones over here on a stand that I've gotten from different units, different officers, etc. So the story behind this is, if you're in a bar, specifically a military bar, and someone slaps a coin on the counter, everyone else has to slap a coin on the counter. And if anyone doesn't have one and can't, they have to buy the round. However, if you are the one that first slapped the coin on the counter and everyone has one, then you have to buy the round. So it's kind of a, that's why we call it the challenge coin. You're challenging to see if everyone else has their coin or not, is the idea behind that. So you never want to get stuck without one of those. One change to my EDC now is last time I had a little like calendar planner notebook. And I've actually switched to just a plain notebook with plain just lined paper. I find it easier to use because it's, for me at least in my mind, it's less organized, if that makes sense. The planner has very set structure in which to put information, and I like having just this nice empty page where I can just do whatever I need to do for reminders, things to do lists, anything really. I can just put on the page, so I don't go anywhere without a notebook. Another thing I like to keep with me, I didn't have this with me last time, I like to have a lighter with me at any given time. It's just handy whether you need it for candles, lighting a fire, or even something as simple as if I'm in my dress uniform, to be able to kind of burn extra fuzz off of the uniform before an inspection. A lighter works wonders. To go along with that, I live in the desert now, and it will get up to 100 degrees, 100 degrees plus in the summer. Even in the winter, it's February now, and we've hit 80 degrees already, so I always keep a bottle of water with me. Never want to go anywhere without it at this point, because you never know when you're going to need that water. Again, like the notebook, I always keep a pen. This is standing in for my real pen. I have a Parker and a space pen, but they're both at work, so I just took a normal ball pen and use that. And then I always keep a pair of sunglasses with me because it's always sunny in the desert. There's never, or rarely clouds and rain. So I have both a pair of kind of durable Wiley X's, and I have a pair of American Optic aviators also in my car. So always have one of those pairs with me at any given time. And now we get down to the nitty gritty. I always have one of these two options with me. The SOG multi-tool that I showed last time is one option. More often, because of the ease of carry, I have this SOG. This is a Flash 2, and I often just can, because of the little clip here, can just slide it right into my pocket and carry that with me. And really, most of the time, this is more than enough for anything, whether it's cutting strings off a uniform or opening a box or whatever you need it for. Usually this will do the trick. This is something that might change. I have a Spyderco on the way, so that may well replace this SOG as my everyday carry one, and this may get relegated to secondary duty. Of course, you can't go anywhere without a watch, and on a work day for me, the most most common watch for me to be wearing is my Tudor Pelagus here on the rubber. So I included that as my watch for the EDC because on a work day this gets worn more than anything else. It can take the beating and keep going, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful everyday watch for work. And finally, I have my concealed carry, and it depends on the day and how hot and what I'm wearing outside. So if it's extremely hot and I'm wearing minimal clothing, maybe just a pair of shorts and a small t-shirt because I'm a small person, I might go with the PF9. It's extremely thin and light, not pleasurable to shoot, and it's not a gun you go to the range and have fun with, but it is extremely light. So when it's really hot outside and you're not wearing very much, this is a great option. Otherwise, it just stays at home in a box locked up, so no one else can get to it. And more often than not, I am carrying the Glock 26 in my Alien Gear holster, which really actually molds even this double stack thickness right against the skin. So there's not much I can wear other than really lightweight like t-shirt and shorts where this isn't well hidden. So we have the Glock 26, which is my normal everyday carry. It's also much more pleasurable to shoot. It shoots much better like a full-size Glock, so you can take it to the range and not feel like you're beating the crap out of your hand. And you know it's always going to function the way it's supposed to correctly. And so even though you never want to have to shoot it, if you have to, you know it will. And then to go along with that, I just keep this in the center console of my car and don't even think about it. But along with the magazine in the Glock, the 10-round magazine in the Glock, I keep this one. This is the Glock 33 rounder, and I just have it filled up, and then I just leave it in the center console of my car. And that way, I know I don't need to ever worry about needing anything else when I'm out. Now, probably never need this. Most likely, I'll never use this thing ever. But I also know now I don't need 3 10-round magazines, or I don't need to carry some ammo around, or who knows what. So I think for me it's just a peace of mind knowing that this fits in that weapon anyways. Why not just fill it up and have it as a backup in case you need it, which you probably never will. Really, hopefully you never will, because if you need this, you're pretty much screwed anyways. So yeah, and that pretty much completes my everyday carry. I have my notebook to keep track of everything throughout the day, my wallet, IDs, the phone, my watch, my keys, my water, and then my knife or tool, multi-tool, and my carry option. And that is pretty much it. I don't find a need to really carry anything else throughout the day, and that should cover all my bases. So hope you all enjoyed that. If you have any comments on my everyday carry, anything that you carry that I don't carry, or vice versa, I would love to hear what those items are and why. Is it different for you? I find it really interesting. Obviously, everyone has different circumstances with what they do every day. Everyone has a different career. Everyone lives in a different part of the world. So there's a wide variance of what someone might need for the day. And I find that very interesting. So we'd love to hear your comments below. Any other questions or comments, if you don't want to leave in the comments, you're welcome to send me an email. It will be in the description. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time.